Man, there's nothing like Georgia. Nobody's doing it like Georgia. If you want to go to the league and you want to be prepared, that's the best way to go. They're going to prepare you. They're going to get you prepared for the next level. They're going to stay on you about everything. They're on you about the smallest details. It's just different because they prepare you like no other school. I can say that because I've got friends that went to different schools and they tell me it's just a big difference. That's your boy, Broderick Jones, paintball master, uh, who had that to say to the Pittsburgh media, I believe, during during time up there. And you know what Broderick's saying is true. Let me give you some perspective about Broderick Jones. A lot of y'all don't. I mean, guys who play offensive line, nobody thinks about them. Like y'all don't think about them. You should, but you don't. And with Broderick, in the case of Broderick, he did not start his freshman year, and 2 years later, he was a first round draft pick. Now, and that was with two different offensive line coaches, same head coach. And Broderick is a great example of growing up, he did have to do all the little stuff. And he did. And when he did, that's when the game changed for Georgia against Alabama. When Broderick got in there, I don't think I have an image of Broderick in here. Yeah. So much of that game, really, the Georgia Alabama game in 2021 was about was about Keeley's. But in this image here, Broderick's on the field as the tackle. They made some changes and put him in at right tackle. I think it was right tackle or left, one of the two. And from that point forward, Georgia started moving the ball a lot more effectively. In 2000, Broderick didn't play a lot. He just didn't play a lot. And there was speculation. I don't know how serious it was that he would transfer and all this stuff, but what he's saying is right. What he's saying is right. There's not every details are so important in everything. You see Dylan Raiola commit to Georgia earlier today, and Matt and I are prepared for that for some time, and we're just waiting for it to happen. I don't know why it didn't happen a couple of weeks ago. Georgia's been expecting it to happen for some time, but whatever, whatever. And there are little details that go into every single thing. It makes it look like what we do is just like sort of just it just happens. No, there's all sorts of little buttons you have to punch, and for Georgia, those guys, I'm sure there's weights they have to hit in terms of what weight should they be at, and there's a particular diet and workout that they have to be at. There's film study. I was talking to somebody in the NFL. Well, I talked to him today, but when he said this, he was saying, the NFL people are professional athletes, and the big term there is professional. Like they're coming in, they're watching film, they're studying, there are hours, they work. This is work. I think, Georgia gets people ready for the league. I think this guy right here, that's Brock Bowers. He's on the cover of the 2023 season preview. We got a fair amount. This is literally right off the presses. Our friends there are two places you can get this. You can get this at the link down below, and you can get it at Red Zone in Athens. And you know who you are. If you're going to be in Athens, you should be running by there. They've got it. And, you can purchase the magazine. If you're an annual subscriber at Dawg Post, I've already told you, you're getting this in the mail. Give me a little bit of time, but it's going to be in your mailbox. If you are a person interested in getting double dogs or Dogstruction, order now and you'll get the magazine included for free. Does not cost you anything. It's a 48-page full color, hand typed look at the dogs. We're going to talk about it a little bit more over time, but take advantage of this now while you can, while that offer is going. I think Broderick's got it exactly right. It really is a machine at Georgia. And I'm not saying, okay, so if you're doing everything right, then you don't have a lot of time to goof around. You should be getting up and either conditioning or lifting, whatever it calls for that day. You've got class that day. Usually you'll have some sort of workout or practice that evening. You need to be eating right. This is not a mistake. There's no mistake in winning two national championships in a row. That's not. There's no mistake in this. The guy in the middle right there, this guy, he's out there grinding to get these guys, these exceptional players that you just saw there. There's no accident. Broderick's blocking. They recruited Broderick. They had to beat Auburn out to get him, and they kept him away from the piranhas out there in college football who are wanting Broderick to transfer and play right away after a freshman season where he didn't really play a lot. Well, let me ask you this: was it worth it for Broderick to stay? You know, was it worth it for Broderick to cash in on, I don't know how many, I think it was 13, $15 million deal, guaranteed money, or was he going to go get some, excuse my French, was he going to go get some rinky dink bullshit, NIL deal from some also ran school where you're not really getting developed and, you're basically selling them your services for, three to $600,000 a year in some car dealer deal, you know? Which is worth it? Which is worth it? The work for 3 years to get it done, or to go somewhere where you're getting the short money. Go get the real money, man. The way to do that is by do the hard work every single day. Build yourself while you're in a program that's building. I mean, look. The other day, this is not. I mean, Kirby's not my best friend, right? We call it like we see it here. Maybe we're right. I think a lot of times we are. Certainly not right all the time. A lot, not every single time. But the other day I was critical of Kirby about the quarterback stuff, which is fine. But it is the details here. The difference between him and nearly everyone else in college football, not everyone else. The difference between where Georgia's at right now and everybody else is it's the details. That's why, and I'm seeing this just now. That's why they've got confetti falling on top of them so often. You know, they're winning in a way that is not surprising. They should be winning. They should be winning. Georgia baseball should be winning. It's not. That's a problem. That's not going to work. Kirby and company should be winning. It matters at Georgia. Okay, A. B, there are players. C, there are resources. And when you are someone like Broderick who grew up in Lithonia, the Cab has always had players. Always have players. I mean, Juan Gadsden, I'm not talking about Junior, Patrick Pass, Corey Robinson, Quincy. I mean, there have been players in the Cab forever. The Lucky Triplets, Casey Coleman. What about? I cannot believe Jeff Saturday's name escaped me for that long, but it did. I mean, that is a talent-rich area, and Broderick came right from there. And to only have to drive from Lithonia, maybe an hour to Athens to get 3 years of training and 2 years of glory. I just don't know if there's a better deal out there. I mean, this is a really good deal. You buy the book, you get the magazine for free. Broderick, let me know. I'll get it to you. But that's a great deal. But what's being offered right now at Georgia is hard to beat. If you talk about, oh, well, I want to go to Clemson. I like the atmosphere. It's a family atmosphere. Something about Dabo. Okay, that's an hour from Atlanta. It's 2 hours. Okay, okay. And then you can say, well, there's something about Auburn. All right, that's about an hour and a half, whatever. Tuscaloosa's more like 3-ish. Other than that, I mean, you got to really start driving. But I, when these guys, there's no place closer than Athens. It's right there. I mean, Tech, if you want to, I mean, you're not playing in the best league then. I mean, then no one is really comparing Georgia Tech to a major football power, so they're not going to have the resources. Why would you drive away from Athens to go to Florida State right now? You wouldn't. You wouldn't, and that's the difference. I think that right there is what's made Georgia so powerful is that Kirby's made it a destination in a way that Mark did not. Now, I love Mark Richt. I think he's great, period. But there is a difference. And the resources that are being used right now are different than it was when Mark was there. But Kirby's demanded that. So if you are a player and you're in, Atlanta, there's what, 6 million ish, 5.5 million people in Atlanta. I don't know how many that boils down to in terms of football prospects, but quite a few. Then it's really hard to beat out the opportunity that is in Athens. Again, Broderick, man, there's nothing like Georgia. Nobody's doing like Georgia. If you want to go to the league and you want to be prepared, that's the best way to go. They're going to get you prepared for the next level. They're going to stay on you about everything. They're going to be about the smallest details. That's the key sentence. See, that's the key sentence. It's just different because they prepare you like no other school, and I can say that because I've got friends that went to other schools and they tell me it's just a big difference. The big difference is 29-1, one conference championship, a Peach Bowl, an Orange Bowl, and two national championships. The little adds up to very big, big.